Football Manager is a game loved by so many people around the world, but for those outside the bubble, the obsession can be difficult to understand. After all, isn't it just a glorified spreadsheet? Well, as a player of about 20 years, I hope I can shed some light on the mystery. There were others before it, but the first Football Manager game that I really clicked with was Football Manager 2006. I got the game for Christmas in 2005 and can remember spending the following days and weeks managing my team while eating the chocolate I'd received and listening to Franz Ferdinand's You Could Have It So Much Better. A small group of my school friends were also into the game and we'd trade tactics and stories at any opportunity we were given. At university, one of my flatmates was obsessed with Football Manager 2011. Anytime he was home I could hear the music coming from his room, where he propped the door open and settle in for long sessions guiding a non-league club to glory. I'd occasionally play a little bit myself. I think I had 2008 or 2009 at that point, but the pressures of exams, job hunting and the world of work meant that FM took a backseat to the more dip-in, dip-out gameplay of FIFA. That continued until 2017, when I found myself with a lot of free time with little money to go out and do things. When I saw Football Manager 2017 on offer on Steam, I picked it up and sank many hours into a save that saw my Bournemouth side make the Champions League places. On starting a new job, I once again abandoned the game until I spotted it in my library and sped through a couple of seasons at the redeveloped Bournemouth Stadium. While I might not be able to sink the hours I used to into the game, I've certainly caught the bug again. A friend gifted me a copy of Football Manager 2020 a while back and I took the reins at another South Coast club, Southampton. Years later and we're on the brink of our first Premier League title. The game has changed somewhat over the years as features have come and gone, but there are some key, ever-present elements that make the Football Manager series as engrossing as it is for fans, despite the fact that it's basically a spreadsheet of teams and footballers wrapped up in a nice interface. Underlying everything are the stats. Seasoned players pride themselves on knowing not the content of the database, but how to read it. Your scout's perception of a player's ability might be way off if he's got poor judgment, and your £15 million wonder kid might be destined for a life on the bench if he can't boost his determination. The mystery around reading the game is only heightened by the fact that Sports Interactive has never fully revealed what goes on under the hood to decide who wins and who loses on the pitch. All this creates unpredictability. Your job is never done in Football Manager. Those numbers working behind the scenes can turn your title winners into mid-table fodder or your relegation battlers into giant killers quicker than you might think. There's always another challenge to take on and another crisis to deal with, usually a key player deciding he wants to leave for Paris SG just a few hours before the end of the transfer window. This is how narratives emerge over games, months and seasons. Whether it's your own managerial career, the rise of your current club, or a player's development from hot prospect to key player, the storylines generated in every Football Manager save are what keep fans hooked. The effect is compounded by the small details the developers drop in here and there. When the in-game journalists ask questions about landmark appearances, for example, some players even report taking on their own sons as youth recruits. And there's a great community to share all this with, from my group of school friends 14 years ago to the meme-happy Football Manager subreddit today. The most fun you'll have with the game is sharing stories and arguing about what makes it tick. It is possible to play a network game of Football Manager, but the real value the internet adds is the expanded community of players. The tales, challenges and debates are what keep people coming back. There are few games out there that pay off in the long run like Football Manager does when you stick with a club, mould it to your vision and bring through your own generation of players. And once you get there, you're presented with a wealth of stats and records to look back on the club legends and unforgettable matches that built your success. All of these factors combined are what makes Football Manager more than the sum of its parts, and definitely more than the database the whole game is built on. If you're not an FM player, hopefully this has gone some way to explain what makes the series so popular. Just remember, never ask your FM obsessed friend how many hours they've logged on their Steam account. Thank you for watching, and if you like this video, please consider subscribing to the channel and visiting stratpack.blog for more.